Good morning, Safari friends. My name is Mrs. Roberts, and I am going to be your teacher for this week. Our normal order of doing things is we're going to have a song together, we'll have a Bible story, we'll have a connection story, and then we'll end with a prayer. The only thing that you might want to get before we start is if you like to draw, grab yourself a piece of paper and something to draw with. If you would prefer just to write words instead, then go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pencil. If you have someone that you want to talk to that will sit beside you, then go ahead and grab a friend. Or when I ask my questions, you can always just have some quiet, thoughtful time in your head and talk to God about what I have asked you and what your answer might be. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video, grab something to write or draw with or a friend, and come on back. Okay, today is day one, and day one's theme is always God's world, and we're thinking about what we can be thankful about with God's world today. And so there's a lot that's frustrating right now, a lot that's hard in the world, but we are going to be working on finding things to be thankful about. And so we'll start with Jesus in the morning. If you would go ahead and sing along with me. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus in the morning, Jesus at the noontime. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus as the sun goes down. Okay, our first story today in thinking about thankfulness is the creation story of the world. So this comes from the book of Genesis. In the beginning, when God created the universe, the earth was formless and desolate. The raging oceans that covered everything was engulfed in total darkness, and the Spirit of God was moving over the water. Then God commanded, "Let there be light," and light appeared. God was pleased with what he saw. Then he separated the light from the darkness, and he named the light day, and the darkness night. Evening passed, and morning came. That was the first day. Then God commanded, "Let there be a dome to divide the water and keep it in two separate places." And it was done. So God made a dome, and it separated the water under it from the water above it. He named the dome Sky. Evening passed, and morning came. That was the second day. Then God commanded, "Let the water below the sky come together in one place so that the land will appear," and it was done. He named the land Earth, and the water which had come together he named Sea. And God was pleased with what he saw. Then he commanded, "Let the earth produce all kinds of plants that bear grain and those that bear fruit." And it was done. So the earth produced all kinds of plants, and God was pleased with what he saw. Evening passed and morning came. That was the third day. Then God commanded, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate day from night and to show the time when days, years, and religious festivals begin. They will shine in the sky to give light to the earth." And it was done. So God made the two larger lights, the sun to rule the day and the moon to rule over the night. He also made the stars. He placed the lights in the sky to shine on the earth, to rule over the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God was pleased with what he saw. Evening passed and morning came. That was the fourth day. Then God commanded, "Let the water be filled with many kinds of living beings, and let the air be filled with birds." So God created the great sea monsters, all kinds of creatures that live in the water, all kinds of birds, and God was pleased with what he saw. He blessed them all and told the creatures that live in the water to reproduce and fill the sea, and he told the birds to increase in number. Evening passed and morning came. That was the fifth day. Then God commanded, "Let all the earth produce all kinds of animal life, domestic and wild, large and small," and it was done. So God made them all, and he was pleased with what he saw. Then God said, "And now we will make human beings. They will be like us and resemble us. They will have power over the fish, the birds, all the animals, domestic and wild, large and small. So God created human beings, making them to be like himself. He created them male and female, blessed them, and said, "Have many children so that your descendants will live all over the earth and bring it under control. I am putting you in charge of the fish, of the birds, and all the wild animals. I have provided all kinds of grain and all kinds of fruit for you to eat. But for the wild animals and for all the birds I have provided grass and leafy plants for food." And it was done. God looked at everything he had made, and he was very pleased. Evening passed and morning came. That was the 6th day. And so the whole universe was completed. By the 7th day, God finished what he had been doing and stopped working. He blessed the 7th day and set it apart as a special day, because by that day he had completed his creation and stopped working. And that is how the universe was created. That is our creation story. And the most important part is how happy God was with God's creation. So take a moment, pause the video, and think, write, talk about what it is in this world that's creation, something in nature, something living that makes you very pleased. Take a moment, draw it, write it, talk about it. Now, from the whole world being created, we're going to talk and think a little bit about ourselves, because we are a part of creation, and we are a part of creation that God was pleased with. And that's amazing to think about, that God sees you and God is happy and pleased with you. So we're going to read a book that my mom gave to me when my first son was born. It's called On the Day You Were Born, and it is about the earth on the day you were born. So I'm going to turn the video around here, hopefully. No, I'm going to pause the video.